Hey guys, hopefully you all can hear me. I don't know how many are actually tuned in. I'm gonna wait for a few. Let me update this URL when we can get started. Update this URL when we can get started. So let me see here. I know I've done this like 100 times already. I'll edit this. Edit. Put the URL here. Alright, and let's see as people come in. I am going to exit that page. Come back here to see where we are and see if we have people on. Let's see. There's only one watching now. Okay. Looks like some people are beginning to filter in. I apologize for getting started so late, guys. It's been at the point trying to learn this live stream for you all to be able to do this live stream has been a hassle for me. I'll edit this video and we'll be able to get it going. So what I'm going to do now for today, October the 3rd, 2018, is we're going to first go over the statistics, then go over general market conditions, talk about some of our partnerships, then we'll also move into exchanges. So we have some pretty good news today. I want to be able to go over all of this and be able to keep you guys up to date in terms of where we are. Okay, what we'll do, we'll first go over the general statistics for LPC and LGS. Today, in general, it's a red day, notwithstanding LightPay coin and Logis coin. For the most part, when we click over into LightPay coin to look at the statistics, we have a daily income of $14.26. A nominal price of a daily payout of $14.26, a nominal price of $1.32, up 2%. Market cap is around 4 million, almost 4 million when you round it up. 93 days for ROI, 67% on the percentage of coins locked up, master note worth $1,300. We do see we did get some stability here around, say, 80 cents, and now we're up around 127, almost a 40% increase. When you look at us compared to BTC, we're still had that decrease to almost 12,000, 13,000 sats, and now we're up to about almost 20,000 satoshis, which is good. At the same time, when you look at the number of master nodes total, There was a huge dip, like I said before, on the 20th. We lost almost 100 masternodes in a day, but we picked back up and we're back on track. It looks as if we've stabilized in terms of our price, and at the same time we're going up. As compared to last week, we had the Federal Reserve announcement that was last Wednesday, and we increased the nominal price by almost 50%. So it looks as if the Federal Reserve decision did have some impact in terms of our price action, and we see that in the statistics over this past week by increase of almost 50% in the nominal price. At the same time, when we're looking at Logis coin, let's click into some of the details here. It's $12.09, up 2%, $220 daily payout. At the same time, we have an ROI of 55 days, 292 masternodes, 70.3% locked up, which it's pretty good. We did have a huge dip last week, and we to $5, and we've more than doubled the price of LGS in that time span since the Federal Reserve decision, almost an increase of almost 100%. We can see those statistics, and we'll look at that a little bit later on. Actually, we can take a look at it now in terms of what's happened on coin market cap for both LPC and LGS. When you begin to look at the trend over this past gainers and losers, you can see over the past week or so, particularly for LGS, we had almost an 85% increase week over week. LPC was on the list earlier today with almost increase of like 40%, but yet it's the case it's not showing here. But LGS over the past 7 days has increased approximately 86%, which I think was a good recovery for the coin. So that's where we are in terms of our general statistics for LPC and LGS. When we go back to masternodes online, the only coins in the top 10 today looks to be LPC and LGS. Yeah. Actually, no, we do have some coins that are actually in the positive this week at 1300 here. So it's good to see that we finally crossed over 2,000 masternodes. So that's a milestone that I was looking for. Even though we set the goal for December, it's the case we crossed that goal faster than we anticipated. So that's what we have in terms of the general statistics around Logis coin and LightPay coin. At the same time, the general market is relatively flat. If we can go back to coin market cap, and we can look at the global market of cryptocurrencies, we can see, and you have to apologize, I have both the screen capture and a lot of tabs open, so my computer is somewhat slow. So if we can zoom in on the 3 month, we can see overall since say the 17th it was a downward trend, but it looks like we're going more sideways than anything else at this point. Not necessarily high, not necessarily low, but we're maintaining a nice range whereby we're flat, and we're seeing some indications of that there may be some positive movement happening with the overall cryptocurrency market. But I think that's a good thing overall. But let's look at the more general economic conditions so we can get a sense of what may be happening over the next few months to next half year or so. One thing that I wanted to chit-chat briefly about was the share buybacks, what's happening in the overall market. When you look at the stock market today, a lot of organizations and individuals suggest that the stock market is being propped up by say the tax cuts that have recently taken place for businesses, and what businesses have elected to do is not necessarily increase bonuses for or increase pay for employees, but yet they've taken the funds and the tax cut and revenue and actually invested it into stock buybacks. So in essence, what's happening is that say retained earnings that companies have, they would go back and they would buy their own stock to increase the price of their stock. At the same time, we've also been noticing, and this is at a record pace. This had been done over the past 10 years. You haven't seen these buybacks happen at such a rate. But yet at the same time, when you look at the executives, they're selling off their company stock at a record pace. So at the same time, you're seeing these record buybacks happening along with these record sell-offs that are happening at the executive level, which suggests to me, when you look at price to earnings ratios within businesses, that the market is being artificially propped up. And when you take that, in addition to the recent announcement about the trade wars, and in addition to the increase in interest rates, and also looking at various commodities, gold and silver as well, it would give you some indication that things are getting ready to turn in a not so positive light. Also, at the same time, when you look at the housing market now, because of the increase in the interest rates, the housing market, the interest rates for purchasing a home is around close to 5% now. So now you're seeing it's being you're going to see housing starts going to decrease, perhaps some layoffs coming into place because people aren't getting loans to purchase homes at this point. So we're in a position now where the market, we may be getting ready to prepare to move into a recession. So this is just my assessment of just looking at the global economic markets. When you look at the buybacks, when you look at the executives selling off their company stock, and at the same time the housing market, the increase in the interest rates, as I mentioned before, the increase last week of the interest rates is going to cause the market to cool down just a tad bit. But we don't know if it's going to cause a recession and actually cause organizations to move over into cryptocurrencies. But this will be the first real test since the Great Recession when you look at the overall downturn. That's in general where we are in terms of the statistics in the cryptocurrency market and general economic conditions globally. Let me see. I'll look back over at the updates to see how many we have on so far and see if there are actually any questions in the chat. It doesn't look like there are any questions at all. So what I'll look to do now, guys, is I'm going to go over to our recent announcements. I mentioned earlier this week that we, in our partnership with Tritium, we are now in the position where we've integrated our web wallets onto Tritium's platform. So now it's the case, our web wallets are live, and I loaded some funds. I sent both LPC and LGS to the web wallet. Create your account. First go to tritium.cc and then sign up, and at the same time enable two-factor authentication because you want to be able to protect your account, and at the same time you can send funds to your Tritium wallet. So now you're going to have LPS and LPC, LGS and LPC. So like Paycoin, here you see my balance here. I just sent some funds to test here. It gives the amount both in LPC and gives the amount also in US dollars. And gives your total balance in terms of what you have in your overall portfolio. And you can send funds. You can also receive funds, which you have your QR code here. And if you want to select load this coin, it's going to give you the address to receive funds, and either you can access this through your desktop, where you can make a copy of the address and send it via email, or you can access this through your mobile device, either iOS or Android, or even iPad or Windows device as well. So it's the point now where your Tritium wallet can serve as your universal wallet, whereby you can access it on your desktop, you can access it on your mobile device, your phone, or your iPad. So I think it's quite useful. It's at the point now where we're not in a position where it stakes just yet. We will be staking sometime soon. At the same, I would recommend that you all begin to interact with the Tritium wallet so that you can get a sense of its functionality. And if there are any issues, we did extensive testing, both from a security side and also from the user interaction side as well, so that funds are going to be safe, and you all will have some safety in being able to use this web-based wallet. So to give background on Tritium, they are providing secure lending using cryptocurrency. So you would have the option of either lending out your cryptocurrency for individuals to borrow, or at the same time borrow against your secured cryptocurrency, either like Paycoin, Logiscoin, or if you possess any of these other cryptocurrencies, you could do that as well. So I recommend, if any of you guys want to be in a position to have your funds on the go on your iOS device, on your Android device, just please sign up at tritium.cc, and then make sure to enable two-factor authentication so that you'll be in a position to to protect your digital assets, and that's both for like Paycoin and for Logiscoin. There's also an Android app for LGS and LPC through the Tritium application as well. You can find that on Google Play. So feel free to send me any questions or comments that you might have around the mobile wallet, mobile or web-based wallets. So this is a multi-currency wallet. So if you had Tritium, or if you had the other cryptocurrencies that are available now, these are the first 5 that are listed here. Okay, now that we've talked briefly about our partnership with Tritium, we're going to move now over to where we are on exchanges. Let me see if there are anybody that put questions in the comments so far. Right now we have 0 comments. The others are on the other link. I feel bad about that. Yeah, so what we'll end up doing now is we'll go over and we'll post this as well. I'd recommend individuals come over. Well, I'm sorry for starting without y'all. I'm still getting used to this live stream thing, so as you can see here, everything is like kind of messy. So it's at the point now where I'll get it right one time soon enough. So I can code, but I can't do live stream. So at some point I'll get it right. So what I'm going to do now is to yeah, at least no echo. Yeah, I practiced just a little bit. Now I got to get the streaming part right, and it'll be available immediately after the streaming. It will be available here. So I want to stay off of this page here that actually just replicates on the screen, and then I want to briefly just chit chat now about the exchanges. So where we are now in terms of the exchanges, I know we talked about listing on a major exchange by the end of September. You know, we've worked hard to try to get things in place. We've done some development work. As you see, we did the integration with the Tritium team in securing the servers associated with LPC and LGS, so that we could be able to host the wallets in a secure on a secure set of servers. And we've done that, and we've rolled that universal wallet out, so it's now available. At the same time, we have actually started the process and have been accepted for listing within X-Rates. I'm not quite sure if you all are familiar with X rates, but let's see if I can find them right here. X rates. So with X rates, X rates is a top 50 exchange, actually ranked in the top um, 50. So as you can see here, it's ranked number 34 on CoinMarketCap exchanges in terms of 24-hour volume. As a comparison, if you would like to see where, let's do a Control F and do Cryptopia. Cryptopia is currently our largest exchange. TOPI. So that's our currently our largest exchange for LightPay coin and for Logis coin, and it's ranked number 85. However, X rates is ranked number 34. So we've already paid our listing, and it's the case that Vlad, main dev, you also know him as Perlock, and myself, Azanthic, we are doing the integration of the wallets into X rates so that we'd be able to list within the next week or so. So now we're in a very good position to have, once again, greater price discovery, greater opportunities for liquidity on a top 50 exchange. So like I said, we've already paid our fee. We're doing the integration now to list on X-Rate within the next week or so, maybe 10 days or so. But we're in a position now where we're going to be listed on a top 50 exchange. I hope that's good news for you guys. We pushed hard to try to get the wallets out, get the multi-currency wallet out, do the integration with Tritium, prepare for the conferences at the same time, and while also being able to integrate into these larger exchanges and get listed. So we're making some pretty good progress at this point in getting work done. I want to mention tomorrow, tomorrow. Actually, I'm flying out to UCF to actually meet with the director of the financial technology program at the University of Central Florida. That's Dr. Chen. If you all remember the press release that was put out by the university about our partnership that we have with them, which is, once again, it's a 5-year partnership with the university to work not only with just, even though it was mentioned in the article, just the psychology department, we have the contract is such where we can work with any college within the university. So the College of Arts and Sciences, where the psychology department is, the College of Business, where the FinTech program is, the College of Engineering and Computer Science, where both engineering and computer sciences are located. So now we have the opportunity to work with all of the different colleges within the university, given the master level agreement that we have. So we're meeting with Dr. Chen, and he's talking with his proposal into developing or building out the FinTech program. In addition, we're looking to see how we can get more involved in interacting with the engineering students, the computer science students entering into that program, and also provide some internship opportunities as well for the computer science and engineering folks who will be entering into that master's program. So it's a combination of business students, say undergrad business students getting their master's degree, and then engineering moving on more into the business side and financial technology, and also computer science. So it's a multidisciplinary program, and we're once again just building our relationships with colleges outside of arts and sciences and outside of the psychology department. So now this is with the business department as well. The business department, excuse me, the College of Business with that joint program with the College of Engineering and Computer Science. So that's where I'll be on Thursday and actually Friday as well, in having those meetings to move the relationship along with the university. So let me take a quick pause here to see if we can go to the screen. X rates is a huge deal. Okay, let me see if we have questions. Let me see if I can go over to, I see some questions or just comments. That's good. Is it next week at the normal time again? Yes, and I'll do. Let me apologize to everybody. I'm a klutz, as you can see in live stream. So it's been at the point where I've been trying to get this live stream thing going for a while. In addition to doing my regular obligations of coding, in addition to doing all the payouts still on the for LGS in the CoinEx listing, and just want to make the announcement, we did not get listed in CoinEx. They did encourage us to continue to push on with the project, considering that it was so young, and everybody who has a unique vote, before vote, after vote, and KYC, they're getting paid. We've paid out over 1,500 LGS at this point. So it's been in a position now where we paid out a lot of funds, and there are a lot of scammers too trying to collect bounties and not even voting. One of the things I found out, and was once I did. Yes, Adam, X rates for just LPC. Yes, that is the case. It's the case that we're listing for LPC. We are also evaluating whether or not we should list LGS on that exchange or list on another exchange as well. I'll answer some questions here. Hi, Damon. How is the work with the ATM going on? What is the current progress in general? Where can we expect the first one? Okay, with the ATMs, it's not on the roadmap for 2018. And once again, we do need to update the website so you all can see where we are. In order to roll out the next generation of wallets, point of sale devices, and ATMs, we're moving exactly in that step. We roll out some wallets. We do have Android wallets available. We're actually doing testing on the iOS wallets for both LPC and LGS. We're looking at the build out of the wallets first, both the native mobile applications and web wallets. This is just in the case, say someone doesn't have a mobile phone, but they have a desktop computer, or they can have access to a computer via a library. They could access their mobile wallet through, they can access a multi-currency web wallet through the application. We're also going to build our web wallet as well, so that for people who don't have mobile phones can have access to cryptocurrencies and have it available in on a secure site. So that was one of the first steps, getting out a native iOS, native Android for both LGS, LPC, and we've accomplished that to some degree through the multi-currency wallets through Tritium and that partnership. And at the same time, we're building out our mobile wallets as well, where we'll have staking available. The next step is the building out of the point of sale devices. We've done some object-oriented analysis and design for the point of sale devices, and the application is a web-based application built in the same framework that Coinbase used to build out its entire exchange. So we're using a tried and true technology that's been used, where there have been hack attempts, and it has survived the hack attempts. So we're using that same language, we're using the same infrastructure that was used to build out the site of Coinbase. So that's how our point of sale devices are being built. So that work is ongoing, where object-oriented analysis is done. The repositories have already been developed, and there's some coding that is beginning to take place in building out the point of sale device that is scheduled for release in December 2018 for beta testing starting in December 2018 into 2019. We'll continue to iterate on the point of sale devices and the wallets to make sure that security is the first and foremost the top priority for us. We've had some discussions with some pen testers, white hats, gray hats. Well, what I mean by white hats, these are people who are very good in computer science, very good in internet security, and they're on our team, and they want to help out LPC, they want to help out LGS, they want this to be one of the best projects ever. Had a long conversation last night with one member who will be I'll make an announcement about this particular team member a little bit later, but he's actually done some great work in doing some penetration testing for large companies, identifying potential exploits to those large companies, and actually have helped out on a variety of different open source cryptocurrency projects. He will be coming on our team as well in helping out with our web wallets, the native iOS apps, and the point of sale device itself to make sure that it's secure. So we need to have that. So with that said, December 2018, that's when we roll out the point of sale, devices. The point out December 2018, January 2019, that is when we begin our pilots. We do have a few companies that have already signed up for the pilots, so they're going to be in a position where they're going to use the point of sale devices within their stores. As I mentioned to you earlier, we do have some pilots here in the United States, or pilot clients here in the United States, who are also already investors. So it's the case they're tracking us, they're attending our webinars, however jacked up they are right now in the streaming. But we're going to get this figured out at the end of the day. So I think we're doing a decent job now. But it's the case we want to continue to move that forward. They're going to pilot for 4 to 6 months before we roll out for larger distribution around, you're talking about the summer, end of the spring, moving into the summer of 2019. That's when the serious work will transition to the serious work of building out the ATMs. The hardware, there are several components. There's a software component, there's the hardware component, in addition to aspects of integrating various blockchains as well. So what we're building now is going to help us, like for instance, the web wallets. In the case of us having ATMs that will not only be able to host LPC and LGS, we'll have the opportunity to have multiple currencies on our network for ATMs. So it's something that we have to be able to build out that infrastructure. So having the multi-currency web wallets, in addition to the point of sale devices that will not only accept LPC or LGS, but also any other cryptocurrencies that would like to come onto our network. It would be great that we build all of this on BlockNet, where we can do cross-chain atomic swaps, and at the same time build our POS on that. But it's looking the case, our first iteration, it's the case that we are looking to build on a similar technology that's already been tried and true in terms of how Coinbase has built out its exchange so far. So that's the technology that we're using so far to build out the point of sale device. The ATMs, that work will commence in the summer of 2019. So I see Barry mentioning he's an iOS developer. Yeah, just make sure you touch base with either me or any members, either the moderators, so we can keep you in the loop as we build the infrastructure out. So going back to the ATMs, that's summer of 2019. I'm sorry for this to be a long description, a long discussion, but for the most part, I think it makes sense for us to really get that information out on our website. Yes, which has not been updated. I don't know who's running point on that just yet. I get my heads in the weeds on so many different things now, but I think there need to be a couple of moderators who can run point in getting the website set up here. So just to let you know, guys, I think we've done a great job in terms of looking at where we've come from. Almost 86 cents after the Fed rate decision. We saw a 50% jump in terms of the price, both for LGS and LPC. So I kind of call that one in terms of how U.S. monetary policy is actually impacting cryptocurrencies, because that actually impacted the market, the overall cryptocurrency market, and also helped us in particular. So I thought that was a good thing. Also, looking at the general economic market conditions, as I mentioned to you earlier, looking at the stock market, how it's on its 10-year bull run. I don't expect that to last too much longer, because I think a lot of the CEOs, they know what's going on in their own businesses. Looking at the price to earning ratios, looking at these stock buybacks, which are artificially increasing the price. It's not necessarily the fundamentals of the business that's driving it. It's the stock buybacks that's driving or increasing the price, which is allowing us to have this bull run. But yet it's the case that the CEOs right now, because of the record number of stock insider selling that's going on, they're calling top. They're exiting out. With the trade war happening, with increases in interest rates trying to reach a normal level, it's the case that things are happening now. So with that said, we also have our partnership with Tritium, with the multi-currency wallets. Try out those wallets, make sure they work for you, and then at the same time, exchanges as well. We paid our fee for X rates. We're now in a position where we're going to move out and complete the integration, and that will be done within the next week or so. And guys, we're moving. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and feel free to ask questions as we move along in this process. Even though we're down, we're not out. And I see some good things coming soon. When you look at the microeconomic conditions in terms of the payouts to the masternodes, the amounts is decreasing, so that oversupply is being taken off the market ever slowly but surely. So now I see us being in a good position, both for LGS and LPC moving forward. So guys, let me know if you have any questions moving forward. KuCoin, we submitted our application to KuCoin. That's from AK. When KuCoin is coming, we submitted our application to KuCoin, and similar to CoinX, they see us as young projects. We're 3 months out, 3 to 4 months out of the gate on LPC, 1 month out of the gate, a little over 1 month out of the gate on LGS. It's one of those same things there where they're saying, hey guys, you need to make a little bit more progress on your roadmap, and we're doing that. So now, instead of me focusing on a lot of community activities like I've done, and like for instance paying out that LGS 1,500 paid out so far, and still there's a little bit more to go, and even there are scammers putting up fake IDs coming from national governments trying to scam bounties, but that's not going to happen. So I'm beginning to move myself out of community-based work, and it may be the point now where we'll have some of the community members, some members of the council and moderators begin to give these calls. Yes, but I do agree X-Rates is a good alternative to KuCoin. We're going to move down the path where even some of the moderators and members of the council perhaps may do some of these live streams. They might do a better job than what I'm doing right now in terms of getting this thing set up and getting us back on track, guys. But I do appreciate you all working with me as we move this thing forward. And let me know any questions, comments, or concerns you might have, and then we'll keep this thing going. But appreciate your time, and we'll see you guys later throughout the week. Take care.